You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes and all your wildest dreams. You are welcome, holy welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes. There's something in the air, the dream of life in love, with minds that rest in prayer, sparking joy we're in awe. No matter where your path has been or time will somehow flies, like souls will come home again, true friendship ever thrives. Is this where the magic happens? Can you feel the farce revealed right now in you and me? The secret is wherever we are. There's something in a smile that can turn a day around. Moments so worthwhile when we find common ground. No matter what the day might bring, right here we can align, knowing that we will be seen as perfect, whole, divine. This is where the magic happens. Let's feel all the hearts, close to me and me to you. The secret is wherever we are. So meet me where the magic happens, feeling all the hearts ignited now in you and me. The secret is wherever, the secret is whenever, the secret is together we are. Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service, CSL St. George. We're so very, very glad you've joined us. So who are we? We are an open, loving, inclusive community that supports thinking creatively and living a deeply spiritual life. Our purpose is to love, teach, guide, and support a spiritual community in creating and living a life they love using science of mind and spirit principles and practices. Our mission here at CSL St. George is a community-focused center actively living, sharing, and nurturing its members and friends so that all might live their best lives. So today's service team, we have practitioner Bill Smith behind the scenes running everything beautifully and smoothly. My name is Gwen Hadley. Again, you've been seeing me a lot lately. I'll be hosting today, but very happy to be here. Alan Stanley, our beautiful musician and songwriter, is here as always to provide wonderful, inspiring music. Our practitioner, Sue Fulmer, will be doing double duty. She'll be doing our invocation and also reading. And then lastly, we have Eugene Holden with us again, but he couldn't actually be in person, so he has sent us a video. So I'm sure it will be wonderful. So with that, Alan Stanley, good morning.
Good morning, Gwen. I'm not here either. This is a video.
We'll take it any way we can get you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Happy Memorial Day weekend. So we're going to start out the first song kind of laid back, slow, and you're welcome to sing along. And we get to a point in it, then Sue will come in and offer our invocation, and we'll sing a little bit more, and then double duty Sue will be back again to do the reading. So just hum, sing. You're safe and you're welcome here. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Good morning. Join me in affirmative prayer. And I will speak in the first person as we believe that we are all one, and I'm speaking for all. So we take a deep breath and go into that silence where we can recognize the presence of Spirit, knowing God is everywhere all the time. And we take that silent moment, that precious moment of now, to recognize our connection to divinity. It is part of us. It lets us know who and whose we are. And I feel that comfort of connection. And as we meet together, I am so grateful for the opportunity to meet online and to have established this wonderful community. And the internet takes us throughout the world. And I know that our vibration of love and the beautiful philosophy we have to share, that is love, that it goes over the airwaves and goes to those who are seeking our message. I'm grateful for our community, for those who give loving service as they do today. I am grateful for this platform that we're able to hear people online that are miles and miles away, as is Eugene Holden. We're grateful for his effort in creating a message for us today. We gather together in the same spirit and oneness, loving the freedom that we have. And as this special day, we remember on Memorial Day, those who have transitioned to the great beyond, those that we love, knowing they are still close at hand and we can communicate with them through spirit and we feel their closeness. And we especially remember those heroes who have died in the name of peace, and those who are leading and guiding and directing the world to bring peace to all. In gratitude, we go into this meeting knowing all is well and all is good, and say, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, Sue. And I know this voice of love, it is singing through my life. It is all I am, every part of me. It is all I choose to be. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. And now we'd like to return to Sue. Welcome back, Double Duty.
Hi, thanks, Alan. You know, I was wondering on Memorial Day, what are all our viewers doing today? There's a lot of activities and tomorrow off of work, and I'm wondering how you're celebrating. The past few years, I have gone on Memorial Day to an early flag raising ceremony with a veteran friend, and he would play on his drum the cadence for the marchers carrying the flag. And I really appreciated that opportunity to start this special day in remembrance of our fallen heroes. When I was young, my mother called it Decoration Day. She would prepare flowers from her garden, and she'd pick like large pink peonies from our yard. I found out from a friend back east that most people call it peonies. And she also had beautiful lavender lilacs which I hear now they're supposed to be called lilacs. We do have our own language here in Utah. So Mom would put all these flowers in a quart jar, and we'd head off to the cemeteries where she placed them on the graves of, I didn't know at the time who. I suppose it was her grandparents. Unfortunately, we never talked about who was buried there. I now see that as an opportunity lost to have learned about my ancestors. My mom was very afraid of death. And so it wasn't something that we talked much about. And I think that's probably why she probably had a lot of emotion when she did that. But she did talk about them and felt better about death and that subject later in life. I appreciate my early teachings from the church that I attended about being taught about life after death. Our science of mind belief statement about the subject is we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul. That's you and I, forever and ever expanding. I really like that. So today we honor those who have transitioned to the next great beyond. And if we're still breathing, it's not our turn yet. I remember a quote that says something like, "May you live every day of your life." Hopefully we are. And I want to end with a quote from the Science of Mind Daily Guide written by Reverend Ryan Alexander for May 11th. The power of possibilities lives inside each of us, even when we don't feel it. The power of possibilities gives us that itch to start a new business, that pull to talk to a stranger, or the urge to explore new places. It is the seed of possibility that gives energy and movement to our lives. Wherever we are capable of rebirth and renewal. We swim in the sea of endless possibilities, although some of us may reluctantly tread water, wearing our inflatable water wings. The invitation to each of us is to jump in, flotation devices and all, and be open to what is possible, unquote. Each day may we be open to what is possible and live each day fully while we're here with gusto. Namaste.
Namaste, Sue. Thank you. I think I'm jumping in too, because I got the gusto. Speaking of gusto, we're going to pick it up a little bit here. A little smiley song by Lisa Ferraro, so you can sing along and jump along. Everybody's got a smile for the world. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly now, 'cause that's what it's for. Ain't no sense in crying when your life's got you down. There ain't no sense in crying when your life's got you down. Just put a smile on your face, hey, you're gonna turn our world around. Everybody's got a smile for the world. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for. Now when you feel like something's missing from your day to day, when you feel like something's missing from your day to day, just put a smile on your face, you're gonna chase those blues away. Yeah, everybody's got a smile for the world. Everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly now, 'cause that's what it's for. Everybody's got a smile for the world. Everybody's got a smile for the world. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for. You gotta let it shine brightly, 'cause that's what it's for.
Thank you, Alan. Hey, we just were in Memphis and heard a lot of good music, but I don't think anything that you can't top. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you.
So as I said in the beginning, if you didn't join us, we're going to hear from Eugene today, Holden, and he's going to speak through the magic of technology, because he's not live today. He's made a video for us. And our May theme continues from good to great to grand. So here it's my pleasure on film to introduce Eugene Holden.
Good morning, Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. It's your friend here, Eugene Dale Holden, practitioner extraordinaire, here bringing you this morning's message. Grand rising to everyone. And that is the theme of this year for Centers for Spiritual Living, Grand Rising. And so the month theme is good to great to grand. Good to great to grand. So I wanted just to recap the first 3 weeks. So in the first week, we were speaking about the inner landscape. What that's about is taking the time to, and the courage to look at what's going on inside. You know, being aware of the thoughts that we're keeping, thinking about what we're thinking about, right? And then also being aware of those emotions. I love it when somebody pushes the button, right? Or flips the switch and I get triggered, right? It has nothing to do with them except for they were the ones who pushed the button. What's that old saying? They may have pushed the button, but they didn't install it, right? So when I get triggered, when there's a button that's pushed, I get to go, oh, what is that about? Because it has nothing to do with them except for that they flip the switch or they push the button. Other than that, all of it is on me. And I am grateful for those who push the button, because they now have allowed me to recognize that there is a button there. And of course, it is an inner thing that's happening. That button may have been installed when I was a child. In fact, most of the time, our buttons are installed when we are very young. And so when that button gets pushed, we get to look at it and go, oh, okay, so what is this about? And when that comes up, when that comes up, then we get to look at it, because now being in this philosophy, being in this way of life, we have the tools, or we are learning the tools that we can use to help heal whatever needs to be healed. And usually the healing is that sense of separation, right? What that saying is that there's nothing to be healed but to be revealed. So what's being revealed through the healing is what's being revealed is that I am one with the infinite intelligence that has created everything. So we want to look at the inner landscape. What am I thinking about? What are these emotions about? See, the path to our authentic expression starts with the exploration of our inner landscape. So we want to be aware of our thoughts. We want to be aware of our emotions. We want to be aware of our attitudes, and we want to be aware of our actions. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, attitude, actions. We can cut that down into thoughts, feelings, and actions. See, because the thought comes first, right? And then we have a feeling about the thought. And then from those feelings, based on those feelings, we get into action. So we want to be aware of our inner landscape. Somebody might ask, so Eugene, what do you mean by thoughts, feelings, and actions? So for an example, I have this thought that people are making fun of me, right? I have a thought that people think that people are thinking less of me. That's my thought. I'm thinking that that's what they're thinking, right? I'm thinking that this is what they're thinking about me. They're not even thinking about me, but that's the thought that I'm keeping, that people are thinking that I'm less than. Now that creates a feeling of inferiority, or it could, or it can create a feeling of less than. And then those feelings go into the action. I am going to act in a way, I'm going to behave in a way that's less than my authentic self. I'm going to behave in a way that could have me shying away from showing up. So we want to be aware of our inner landscape. That's really important. So whenever you get triggered, stop and ask yourself the question, oh, what must I be thinking to feel this? What must I be thinking to have this feeling of inferiority? What must I be thinking to feel less than? Now, it also works both ways, right? You can be having this feeling of joy and you can ask the same question. What must I be thinking to feel this joy? Oh man, I'm thinking that life is so good, that I am backed by the universal presence. That's why I'm having this feeling of joy. And now that feeling of joy gets me into acting in a way that brings me the experience of more joy. Thoughts, feelings, actions. So be aware of your inner landscape. This is very important because we create from our thoughts. We create from our feeling tone. Dr. Holmes wrote in Living the Science of Mind around under affirmations, that section under affirmations, that affirmations mean nothing without feeling. So this goes for everything. Not just affirmations, but your affirmative prayer. Not just your affirmative prayer, but the way you go through your day. Not only be aware of what you're thinking, but connect with the feeling thought behind the thought. Be aware of the feeling tone behind the thought. What must I be thinking to have this feeling? Now, when we can catch it right there, I'm thinking and feeling, when we can catch it in thinking and feeling, now we get to be aware of how we are going to act, right? Because we don't want to act from a place of thinking that we're less than. We don't want to act from a place of anger thoughts. We don't want to act from a place of thinking that I want to get this person back for whatever reason, right? I want to act from a place of thinking that there is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is, I am that life now. This is the thought that I want to stay with throughout the day. And no matter how it shows up, in the different ways that it shows up, I want to be in that vibration of thinking that, oh, right where I am, God is. And when I have that thought, the feeling tone is one of security. The feeling tone is one of joy. The feeling tone is one of abundance. The feeling tone is one of gratitude. And as I like to say, right, that gratitude is a creative energy that creates more for us to be grateful for. Be aware of your inner landscape. Step 3, week 3. I'm always into these steps of prayer, right? Week 3 is taking the necessary steps, the steps that we are taking. So we are taking the steps necessary to go from good to great to grand. So we've already talked about what those steps are, right? To be aware of our inner landscape, to be aware of the things that we value, the value-led life. Oh, we haven't talked about that. Week 2 is the value-led life. Where are your values leading you? What is it that you value? See, as we are becoming aware of our inner landscape, we get to ask the questions. We get to ask so many questions of ourselves, and one of which is, what do I value? What do you value in your life? Do you value peace or do you value chaos? Do you value love Or do you value discord? Are you leading a value-led life? Are you living a value-led life? So to go from good to great to grand, make sure, and this is important, that one of the top 5 things you value in your life is you. What I like to say is that you are valuable to this thing called life. Without you, I want you to think about this one. Without you, the world would be different. Think about it. Think about all of the people in your life and all of the things that you do in your life. And then think about what that life would be like without you. See, you are valuable to this thing called life. So when you list 5 things, I'm going to give you some homework to list 5 things, or if you want to be so bold, you can list 10 that you value. And make sure, be it 5 or 10, make sure that you put yourself on that list, that you value yourself. You are the most important person in your life. So make sure that you value you. And as you begin to value yourself more and more, then you'll start to see that you do value love. You do value peace. You do value all of those things that bring you joy. And then you start to turn away from those opposites. Now, that takes us into the steps we take. This is week 3. Taking the necessary steps to go from good to great to grand. So as we have been practicing checking out our inner landscape, as we have been living in that place of being aware of what we are thinking and what we're feeling, and then taking the actions based on our thoughts and our feelings, and making sure that those thoughts and those feelings are of value to not just us, but to the world. Now we take those necessary steps to show up in that valuable way. We take the necessary steps to show up as the value of peace, because that's what I value. I value joy. So now I'm taking the necessary steps to be joy-filled no matter where I go and no matter what's going on. Now I understand. We live in this world that appears to be chaotic. Check out those 2 words. Seems to be, appears to be chaotic. But what we are told in Scripture is that we shall not judge by the appearances. It doesn't matter what seems to be going on. We are to look beyond that. From a place of value, a value-led life, we are to look beyond what the appearances are, to look to the source of life. And the source of life is what Dr. Holmes talked about, that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. So now we are looking beyond the appearances of things and tapping into the source of all of life, and then being that place where we get to use that power for good. And then to take that a step further, we surrender to allow that power for good to use us. Now, when that happens, we become the vehicle, we become the instruments, we become the channel through which God gets to live, move, and have its being in, through, and as us. Isn't that a remarkable thing? So, the inner landscape, checking out what's going on within us, becoming aware, and then taking the necessary steps to change that inner landscape, or to change our thinking. Oh, what's that saying? Let me see. What is it? Change your thinking, change your life. Well, this comes from being aware of what's going on in that inner landscape, and then becoming aware, keenly aware of what we are valuing, and then leading or living a value-led life. I value love, so let this day be a day of love. I value peace, so let me be in this day that place of peace. Gandhi put it in a different way. Be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to be. Be the peace you want to be. Be the love you want to see. Be the abundance you want to experience. I just came to a revelation, or a revelation came to me a week or so ago in terms of prayer. And sometimes I hear practitioners and ministers or other people speak about, I speak this word into being. I speak my word into being. And what came to me was, I'm not speaking my word into being. It's not about that. It's about being the word spoken. So if I'm speaking a word of abundance, I'm not speaking that word of abundance into being. I am being the word of abundance spoken. So let me embody abundance. I am not speaking this word of peace into being. I am being the word of peace spoken. So let me embody peace. And then, that also comes from that inner landscape. And then taking the necessary steps to show up as peace, to show up as abundance, to show up as love, to show up as grace. So that no matter what the appearances are, we are rising above. We are raising our vibration above the seeming discord, so that when we are drawn up vibrationally, we lift others up with us. And then this week, we are coming to the power of vision. So none of the above that I've talked about happens without a grand vision of ourselves. You see, vision is the power of creation. Your vision comes from your inner landscape. Your vision comes from your inner desire to move in a grand way. So the power of vision is so important. I think it's in the book of Proverbs, where it says, a people without a vision perish. But we can update that to today. What's your vision of yourself today? Now, right? Do you have a vision of yourself as being less than today? Or is that vision of yourself one that is great, grand, and glorious? I'm guessing that you're going to choose the latter, where your vision of yourself is great, grand, and glorious. Well, seeing how we're talking about good to great to grand, how about that vision be great, glorious, and grand? Right? So the vision that you are to have for yourself is one, to see yourself, to have a vision of yourself the same way that spirit has a vision of you. See, spirit, God, the infinite intelligence, sees itself as you and has given you the beautiful gift of choice. They call it free will, but you have the choice to see yourself any way that you want to. So why don't we choose to see ourselves the way that life sees us, to see ourselves in the way that the infinite intelligence sees us? And the infinite intelligence sees us as unlimited because if there is only one life and that life is my life, well, the infinite intelligence can only see us the way it sees itself, and it sees itself as unlimited. Come on now. The infinite intelligence sees itself as infinite potentiality. So now let us start seeing ourselves in that great way, in that same way. Remember, and you've heard this before, somewhere along the line, right? That you are a grand idea in the mind of God. So now is the time for us to step into that. So when we talk about grand rising, we are talking about stepping out grandly. We are talking about stepping in boldly into being who and what we are. We are created in the spiritual image, in the spiritual likeness, and in the nature of the divine itself. You are the way that God shows up. This is the grand idea that Spirit had way before this planet was even created. There's a beautiful song by a group called Shekinah Glory Ministries called Say Yes. Will your heart and soul say yes? Saying yes to your greatness. If I told you what I really need, would you say yes? There is more that God is calling us to be, not just to do, my beautiful brothers and sisters. There is more that God is calling us to be. Will your heart and soul say yes to this grand vision? You are the perfect idea in the perfect mind of God. Now is the time to say yes to it. Now is the time that we let go of all of those limiting thoughts of lack and limitation. Now is the time to go beyond the feelings of fear and doubt and worry. In the midst of the fear and the doubt and the worry that seems to be plaguing the planet at this time, we are on the planet at this time for a time such as this. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. There isn't anyone that's coming to save us except for us. What is that saying? That what you have been looking for is looking for you? No, I'm here to tell you that what you have been looking for is you. What you're looking for, you're looking with? Yeah. What you're looking for is what you're looking with. So if you're looking for peace, be peace. If you're looking for love, be love. So therefore, there is no seeking. We're not seeking peace. We're not seeking love. We are really absolutely taking on that directive of be still and know. So be still and know that you are grand. Be still and know that you are abundant in spite of what the appearances say. Be still and know that the infinite intelligence is here to live, to move, and to have its being in, through, and as you. There is a power for good in the universe greater than we are. And now we surrender, not only to use it, but we surrender to allow it to use us. Let's anchor this in prayer. How grateful I am for this opportunity to speak this word. How grateful I am to recognize that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. And yes, it may be known by different names. Sometimes it is known as God. Sometimes it is known as Allah. Sometimes it is known as Yahweh. Sometimes it is known as Krishna or Voodoo or Olodumare. But whatever it is called, we call it forth into our conscious awareness right here and right now, recognizing that it is at the very center of all of life. For it is its very nature to permeate, to penetrate, and to feel the interspaces of the universe, which means that there is no space where that which I call God is not. And so as I recognize and acknowledge that God is everywhere present at all times, I know that at all times God is present right where I am, for there's no place I can go where God is not. That would be impossible because I am created in that spiritual image and likeness and in the nature of the divine itself. God being everywhere present means that no matter where I am, God is showing up as me. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression tuning in today. That right here, right now, God is, we are. Again, there's no place we can go. There's no place none of us can go where God is not. See, it is not the life of God separate from our lives. It is the life of God revealing itself as our lives, in our lives, because it is our lives. And so it is from my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word for conviction. I speak this word knowing that we are convicted to being that great grand idea of the one. That we let go of any and all thoughts of doubt and worry. We allow these thoughts of limitation to fall away into nothing. Like smoke in the wind, we allow them to blow away, never to return again. Because, see, these thoughts of limitation really have no power. There is only one power, and that is the power of God. And the power of God is revealing itself in, through, and as each and every one of us. And so we stand boldly as the grand idea and the grand mind of God, knowing that as we say yes, that the universal intelligence, the universal power is fulfilling itself and is energizing our sacred yes. For as it energizes our sacred yes, it is fulfilling its own life as us. Yes. Will your heart and soul say yes? Are you ready to be made whole now? Say yes. So knowing that this word is already complete, I give great thanks. And so it is from this place of gratitude that I release my word into the law of yes. See, I know that as I release my word into the law has no other choice but to take these words and mold them and shape them, design and create them, and then return them unto us completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we lovingly, joyfully, and gratefully allow it to be. Claiming, declaring, accepting that it is done, and it is done well. And so it is, so it shall be. Take a breath. Peace and abundant blessings. I'll see you soon.
Oh, so we're always so grateful to have Eugene join us from wherever he is. We're just always happy to have him. So thank you, Eugene. If you're watching this later, we appreciate you very, very much. So on with our announcements. So prayer request, you can see on the screen, the Gmail, you can ask our practitioners. They will pray with you, for you, whatever you need, please give them a contact. Our next in-person service is June the 9th. Today, it will be a small group, but we ask you to join our conversation on Zoom at noon. So abundant prosperity, we bathe in the flow, and so grateful. There are many ways you can help support the center. You can give with Zelle. You can give online. PayPal link is there along with the QR code, or you can certainly send us a check by mail. We appreciate any way you choose to give. Upcoming Sundays, we'll have our own Rev Joe back talking about sacred audacity. And then again on June 9th, all fired up in person. Looking forward to see everyone there at the Masonic Lodge on June the 9th. So Bill's going to bring up our closing affirmation and bring up this small group today. We invite you to please read aloud this affirmation with us. It makes it more powerful and relevant in our life, I think. So something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do. I am it. I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is becoming. Thank you,
life. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Happy Sunday and enjoy Memorial Day.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Bye now.
Bye.